This week on Machinery Pete TV, a pair of planters were major attractions at this Indiana auction, and it doesn't get any cleaner or nicer than this Massey Ferguson 8800. Everyone was following this 2015 Apache sprayer, and Pete looks at the upward trajectory of used skid steer values.
Your machinery is a serious investment, and at the heart of every farming operation. Some call it a passion. We're Machinery Pete TV, and today we'll cover everything from auction roundups to the classics to the latest trends and technology. Machinery Pete, the most trusted name in farm equipment.
Machinery Pete thanks these premier sponsors for their support. Sullivan Auctioneers. Let our team of professionals show you how to make your auction a success. Visit sullivanauctioneers.com. Hey folks, welcome to Machinery Pete TV. Today we're covering the Janet Neitzel Farm Auction in Cedar Lake, Indiana. And we've got a treat for you, some beautiful equipment on this sale. We're going to watch this low-hour Apache AS720 sprayer cell and a pair of sharp planters, including a 2017 Kinze 3600 1224 and a 2012 Massey Ferguson 8800. Now before we have all this fun, we got to go back to the studio, catch up on the latest farm equipment news.
Thanks, Pete. I'm Tricia Sloma. Clinton is on assignment. The backlog of ships off the California coast is starting to have an impact on growers. California farmers say they are having trouble exporting their crops because of delays in the global supply chain. An intense demand for products has led to a backlog of container ships outside the nation's two largest ports along the southern California coast. California port officials say shipping costs are so high now, many ships hurry back to Asia instead of stopping at the smaller Oakland port to pick up exports of walnuts and almonds. One grower reporting he usually sells about 80% of his walnut crop overseas. But this year, he's concerned because he says there aren't enough shipping containers or warehouses for truckers to put the crop. Some processors have resorted to paying much more to ship their products to ports in Texas and Maryland just to keep their customers happy. And the problem is being made worse by a shortage of truck drivers. According to the American Trucking Association, the industry is about 80,000 drivers short. Truck drivers move 71% of the U.S. economy's goods, and the shortage is already impacting many other industries. Trucking company owner Will Cibrian seeing it firsthand.
I'm advertising every day. Weeks go by, and I don't get a call.
While President Biden directed the ports of Los Angeles and Long Beach to move to 24/7 operations, Cibrian believes it won't be enough because he says there are other issues that are preventing truck drivers from picking up, including driver and equipment shortages. And check out this piece of farm equipment, a self-driving robot that uses lasers to kill weeds. It's from Carbon Robotics, based out of Seattle. The company says this robot kills 100,000 weeds an hour. It has 8 150-watt lasers that fire 20 times per second, all guided by 30 cameras that are connected to software that can spot the difference between the crop and weeds. It runs 1 to 2 miles an hour and can clear up to 20 acres in a day. For more on this, check out the story on agweb.com. Let's check in on some recent prices around the country. Now back to our host, Machinery Pete.
Hey, you Kinze fans, stick around. You're not going to want to miss this beautiful planter cell. A 2017 Kinze 3600 1224, under 1,200 acres on it. Hey folks, I'm here with Arden Schrader with Schrader Real Estate and Auction. one of the largest, if not the largest, ag land sellers in North America. Arden, let's talk farmland values here. You know, we've talked a lot about used values, equipment values being very high, maybe up 10, 15+%. What have you guys been seeing with good farm ground?
Hey, good farm ground is strong as well, and probably in that 10 to 15% increase, as we mentioned in the equipment. But the quality of farm ground, the people that are still, there's so many dollars that people want to invest in farmland. We got so many buyers out there that are waiting, and the supply and demand is really helping drive that. And I think that a lot of them want to try to get into the land market and ownership, and get maybe out of the stock market volatility. So there's some switching going on there. The farmers have made some money in the last couple years, and they're always looking to add to their portfolios. And if the opportunity arises where that piece comes up that's next to them or within a mile of them, well, we just don't get many chances in their lifetime to be able to add that to their farming operation.
You only get to step into that batter's box not many times
That's
to take
right.
a shot, right?
That's right.
Now, what would you say, Arden, to the people trying to gauge the percentage of buyers, farmers versus investors? Has that changed or stayed steady, or what's your take?
I'm going to say that I would say that the farmers have been winning a higher percentage of the time. And there again, I think there's a lot of those farmers out there that have some leverage, have got some ground paid off. So the investors are going to look at it as a X and O type of situation, and if it's not going to provide the right return for them, they're going to be out of the market. And the farmer can kind of set that aside and maybe use a little bit of emotion in their purchase, but that again, location in real estate is what drives that price.
Well, you can see the interest in this auction, folks, and I tell you, one of the reasons so many people came to the sale today, opportunity to buy a heck of a nice planter, this Super Sharp 2017 Kinze 3600 1224. This thing's got under 1,200 acres on it.
97, 97, 97, 97, 98, 98, 98, 98, 99, 99, 100, 100,000, now 101, now 2, 103, now 3, now 3, now 4, now 4, 404, now 5, now 5, 506, now 7, 7, 7, 107, 107, 107,000, 108, now 80, 108, 108, 108, ready your man's out, 108. 180, 108, 108, 108, 108. We're done, Arden. And we'll sell it for 107, 107,000.
All right, folks, here's one we don't run across every day. A 2012 Massey Ferguson 8800 planter, 16-row, 30-inch. Now, just 4 months ago, I did see a 15 model Massey 8800, but it was a 12-row, sold on a consignment auction in Eastern Iowa, went for $17,500.
3,000 internet drought, now 4, 50 over the board, 11 over the board, 11 over the 5, 55 down on the bottom, 55 on the bottom, 55 internet, 55 on the bottom, 55 down 6, down 16, 57 internet drought, 57, 57, 77, ought to be closer to 70, 57, 58. 58, 58, 58, now 9, 59, 59, 59, 58, loop, 59, internet drought, now 60, now 60, now 60, now 60, now 60, now 1, 61, now 1, now 1, now 1, like this, 61 ain't clear, 61, now 1, now 1, internet, anybody else, 61, now 1, 60, now 1, 60, now 1, 61, total loop way, 60,000.
Here are a few more items that sold on today's sale.
26, 25, 750, thank you for bidding. Now 18, 19, give me 19, give me 2, 2 now, 2 now, 2 now, 2 now, 2 now, 2. And $1,900 buyer numbers. 32,000, 250, 30,000, 32 now, 250, 32, 250. Sell it on the internet. 32,000, 25,000, 25 on the bottom of the now, buy it now, buy it now, 5. 25 on the now, buy it now, buy it now, buy 25. 25,000, and $24,000 on the internet. Now three, now three, now three, 3,300 and $3,200 buyer number.
Machinery Pete TV is brought to you by Kubota. Together, we do more. Your next piece of equipment is on MachineryPete.com. Search equipment from dealerships across the country to find what you're looking for. Only on MachineryPete.com.
All right, folks, let's talk about used skid steer values and how they've been rocketing higher fall of 2021. So let me walk you through just less than a 1 week span recently. So October 23rd on a little farm auction in Watertown, South Dakota, this very sharp Bobcat 773, 1,729 hours on it. Folks, this baby sold for $27,500. Yep, $27,500. Now, yes, that is a record high auction price I've ever seen on a Bobcat 773, and man, I've seen a zillion of them over my 32 years. In fact, $27,500, that's a record by $7,500. And interestingly, the previous record was set earlier this year, back on March 26th, on an auction out in North Dakota, where a very nice 773 went for $20,000. Now, the day before the 773 brought $27,500, another Bobcat sold on a small farm auction in Faribault, Minnesota. It was an older one, this 742B, and this thing had 1,322 hours on it, went for $14,000. Now, if that sounds high, it's because it is. In fact, it's the highest in 5 years and the second highest auction price ever on a 742B. The only higher one was $14,500, again, back 5 years ago, but that one only had 565 hours on it. Now, 2 days before the 742B brought $14,000, another example on an online farm auction out of Ellsworth, Wisconsin, later model, this Deere 317G. Now, this thing only had 76 hours on it, so obviously like brand new, but it went for $45,500, which again, record high auction price. And same thing here, folks. The previous record was set earlier this year, January 30th, on a sale in Northeast Missouri. Welcome back to Tractor Tales, folks. This week, we're gonna head to Illinois and we're gonna check out an Oliver Super 99. Harold bought this tractor to complete his Super Series from Oliver. This 99 came from the fields of Idaho to live out its days riding in parades and an occasional field day.
Neighbor had one when I was growing up, and I drove the Super 88, you know, with some stuff and everything, and then I just decided to get an Oliver's, and Super was one that kind of caught my eye to get all of them. So I bought it at Kurt Allman's sale about 3 years ago. I've got a complete set of Supers, and that's what I was wanting to drive it around, take it to tractor shows. Everybody probably likes these bigger, noisy tractors. These come from out west, I'm pretty sure, where it come out in the wheat country. Well, it was one of the first tractors to break 170 horsepower, so I think it'll go about 15 mile an hour, 16 maybe. There's not very many around here very close that I know of this tractor, you know. I just always wanted one, I reckon, you know, I mean, I was wanting a complete set, and I ended up getting it. So. The tank on this side is the hydraulic tank, for the hydraulic oil. I think that must have been an aftermarket or something, because you see all different setups on the hydraulic system on them. You can hear it, it's one thing about you can hear it for, if it's somebody else driving it, you know when they're coming down the road for sure.
Folks, stay with us. Coming up, our feature item on the show today, I guarantee you're not going to want to miss this thing. Super sharp 2015 Apache AS720 sprayer, only 665 hours on it.
The Tire Grabber is designed with your safety in mind, supporting your heavy lifting jobs with a heavy-duty jack and tire handler duo. For farmers working to lift, change, and repair tires on their home farms, check out the Tire Grabber at thetiregrabber.com. Got equipment to sell privately but tired of scams and hassles? Visit MachineryPete.com and click Sell Mine. MachineryPete.com, the simple and secure way to buy and sell equipment online.
Well, folks, I hope you know now that all the auction sale price data is free at our MachineryPete.com website. So any piece of equipment you want to figure out what it's worth, just come on in and take a look. Now, if you were gauging what an Apache AS720 is worth, you look at MachineryPete.com and you see 3 recent ones sold from between $85,250 and $90,500. And our feature item on the show today, a super sharp 15 model with only 665 hours on it.
95, 110, 110, 110, 110, 110, 120. I got rid of 115, now 20, 120. 125, 125, 125, 125, internet, could be 125, 125, now 30, 130, 30, just like a demonstrator, 665 hours. 120 behind the bid, 130, 130. Hey, 126. 6, 7, 127, 127, 127. 127, 127, 127, 127, internet trial, 127, 8, 128, on the maid, 8, on the maid, 128, on the maid, 8, on the maid, 128, 128, on the maid, 8, on the maid, 128, Michelin rubber off, now 9, now 9, now 9, 9, 9, 129, 129, 129, 129, 129, 129, 129, 129. Say it again, click and bid, here we go. 129. Total 128,000 right on your way to bidder.
Well, folks, I thought this sprayer could be a hot one on the sale today, and boy, was it ever. Coming in, I'd seen a couple recent record prices on Apache AS1020s, but our feature item, the 15 model AS720, 665 hours, sells for $128,000. That is a record high auction price. I just visited with the guy that bought it. He's very happy, and the truth is, where are you going to find another one this nice? You're just not. So he was very happy. Well, folks, I've been doing ag television now over 14 years. We've been doing our own Machinery Pete TV show. We're in season 9 now. Thank you so much for watching. Sometimes when we're making segments like this for the show, I'll be sitting around thinking, geez, what am I going to talk to you guys about? But the beauty of this is that the stories kind of find me. So as I'm recording this, November 3rd, 2021, we got an auction report from a sale up in Ontario, actually 2 sales. And on the first sale in Mitchell, Ontario, this New Holland 8970 with 2,356 hours on it, sold for $75,330. That's US money. Now that's the 3rd highest auction price ever on a New Holland 8970. Interesting to note, the 2nd highest auction price ever was also from this year, back on March 16th, on a farm auction in Vermilion, South Dakota. A 98 model, 3,575 hours, went for $76,000, which is just behind the all-time record high of $76,300. But that was all the way back in August of 2010, farm auction, Stonington, Illinois, 98 model with 1,573 hours on it. Now the same day, November 3rd, 2021, another auction in Ontario, this one in Phelpston, Ontario, we actually did have a record price, and it was on this Case IH Maxim 150 with 802 hours, like new condition, sold for $91,125 US, and that was just over the previous record of $91,000 from 3 years ago on a sale in Texas. Well, folks, almost 32 years now I've been covering auctions, and I love traveling the country seeing this beautiful condition stuff sell. But honestly, the best part has been just the fantastic people I've got to know. Folks like Arden Schrader, and I tell you, it's so fun to see him back behind the mic after his scary accident just a few months ago with broken bones in his back. Great to see him back at it, and fun to be here today and watch these planters sell for a very strong price and a new record on that Apache sprayer. And we'll see you back here next week, folks, on Machinery Pete TV.
Machinery Pete thanks these premier sponsors for their support. Sullivan Auctioneers. Let our team of professionals show you how to make your auction a success. Visit sullivanauctioneers.com.
Your next piece of equipment is on MachineryPete.com. Search equipment from dealerships across the country to find what you're looking for. Only on MachineryPete.com.
Best way I've seen to fix faded paint? Dakota Shine. Order online at dakotashine.com or visit your regional farm stores to pick up your Dakota Shine today.